lamp that you can't read by, but it's responsible for stealing hours from our lives.
What are you listening to? This Remco transistor radio I made myself. Want to listen?
Hey there, nostalgia seekers. Welcome back. Today, we're turning back the clock to the swinging 1960s to uncover the essential items that were once a staple of everyday life but have since vanished from our lives forever. From quirky gadgets to beloved household items, these relics of the past remind us of a time when life was a little different but no less exciting. So, let's take a trip down memory lane and celebrate the treasures of the 60s. Let's start with a classic, the rotary phone. These iconic devices featured a circular dial with finger holes for each number. Making a call required patience and precision, as you had to rotate the dial for each digit. The satisfying click, click, click sound as the dial returned to its original position is a nostalgic memory for many. Rotary phones may have been replaced by smartphones, but their charm and simplicity remain unmatched. Remember family slideshows? Slide projectors were a must-have for sharing vacation photos and family memories. These bulky machines used small photographic slides to display images on a screen or wall. Gathering around the projector for a slideshow was a beloved family activity, complete with the whirring sound of the projector and the click of each slide advancing. Today, digital photo frames and projectors have taken over, but the magic of slide projectors lives on in our hearts. Before computers and word processors, typewriters were the tool of choice for writers, students, and office workers. These mechanical marvels required a deft touch and a bit of muscle to type out each letter. The rhythmic clacking of keys and the ding of the carriage return were the soundtrack to countless typed pages. While typewriters have mostly been replaced by keyboards and screens, they hold a special place in the history of written communication. Vinyl records and turntables define the music experience of the 60s. Records, also known as LPs or albums, were cherished possessions that music lovers would collect and play on their turntables. The warm, rich sound of vinyl and the tactile experience of handling records created a unique and immersive listening experience. Although digital music has taken over, vinyl has made a nostalgic comeback, reminding us of the golden age of analog sound. In the 60s, having fresh milk delivered to your doorstep was a common convenience. Milkmen would leave glass bottles of milk on your porch, often with a foil cap that you'd peel off to pour. It was a daily ritual to bring in the milk and store it in the fridge. Today, supermarkets and home delivery services have replaced the milkman, but the memory of this simple and reliable service lingers. Before cable and satellite TV, households relied on TV antennas to receive broadcast signals. These metal rods, often referred to as rabbit ears, were adjusted to improve reception and reduce static. It was a delicate dance to find the perfect angle for a clear picture. While digital TV has rendered antennas mostly obsolete, the sight of rabbit ears on a TV set is a nostalgic reminder of simpler times. 8-track tapes were a popular format for music in the 60s and 70s. These chunky cartridges contained a loop of magnetic tape that played continuously. 8-track players were a staple in cars and home stereos, providing hours of musical enjoyment. The distinctive click when the track changed tracks is a sound that many remember fondly. While 8-tracks have been replaced by cassettes, CDs, and digital music, they remain a symbol of a bygone era. Polaroid cameras brought instant photography to life. These cameras use self-developing film to produce a photograph within minutes of taking the picture. The excitement of watching the image slowly appear on the film was unmatched. Polaroid cameras captured spontaneous moments and provided instant gratification long before digital cameras and smartphones. While Polaroids have seen a resurgence in popularity, the original models are cherished vintage items. Teasmades were the perfect fusion of alarm clock and tea maker. These ingenious devices would brew a fresh pot of tea right on your bedside table, waking you up with the aroma of freshly brewed tea. The convenience and charm of Teasmades made them a popular household item in the 60s. Today, modern coffee makers and kettles have taken their place, but the Teasmade remains a quirky and delightful piece of retro technology. Record players with built-in radios were the ultimate entertainment centers of the 60s. These all-in-one units allowed you to listen to your favorite vinyl records and tune in to AM/FM radio stations. The sleek wooden cabinets and stylish designs made them a focal point of the living room. While separate audio components have become the norm, these vintage record players are treasured collectibles that evoke a sense of nostalgia. In the 60s, aluminum Christmas trees were all the rage. These shiny metallic trees came in a variety of colors and sizes, providing a futuristic and glamorous alternative to traditional green trees. Paired with a rotating color wheel, aluminum trees created a dazzling display of light and reflection. Although they fell out of favor in later decades, aluminum Christmas trees have made a retro comeback, celebrated for their kitschy charm. Handheld transistor radios were a revolutionary way to enjoy music and news on the go. These portable devices use transistors to amplify sound, making them smaller and more convenient than their tube-based predecessors. Whether you were at the beach, in the park, or just hanging out with friends, a transistor radio was the perfect companion. While smartphones have taken over as our go-to portable entertainment devices, the simplicity and nostalgia of transistor radios remain. Lava lamps were the epitome of 60s decor. These mesmerizing lamps contained a colorful wax-like substance that floated and moved in a liquid, creating a relaxing and psychedelic effect. The soft glow and hypnotic motion of the lava made them a popular addition to bedrooms and living rooms. While lava lamps are still available today, they are often seen as retro novelties rather than everyday essentials. Before calculators became widely accessible, slide rules were the go-to tools for mathematicians, engineers, and students. These analog devices used sliding scales to perform complex calculations. Mastering the use of a slide rule was a rite of passage for many in technical fields. While digital calculators have rendered slide rules obsolete, they remain a fascinating relic of mathematical history. Console stereos were the ultimate home audio systems of the 60s. These large, furniture-like units housed record players, radios, and speakers in a single stylish cabinet. Console stereos provided rich, high-quality sound and were a focal point of many living rooms. Today, compact audio systems and smart speakers have taken over, but the elegance and craftsmanship of console stereos are fondly remembered. Before VHS and DVD players, film projectors were the main way to watch movies at home. These devices used reels of film to project images onto a screen, often accompanied by the whirring sound of the projector. Family movie nights with a film projector were a special treat, complete with popcorn and excitement. While digital projectors have replaced their film counterparts, the nostalgic charm of film projectors endures. Drive-in theaters were a beloved form of entertainment in the 60s. Families and friends would pile into cars and head to the local drive-in for a night of movies under the stars. The experience of watching a film from the comfort of your car, with the sound coming through a speaker hooked to your window, was unique and magical. While drive-ins have dwindled in number, their memory remains a cherished part of American culture. Fountain pens were the writing instruments of choice in the 60s. These elegant pens used a nib and ink reservoir to create smooth, flowing lines on paper. Writing with a fountain pen was a tactile and satisfying experience, whether you were jotting down notes or composing a letter. While ballpoint pens and digital devices have taken over, the artistry and craftsmanship of fountain pens are still celebrated by enthusiasts. Telephone booths were a common sight on city streets and in public places. These enclosed spaces provided privacy for making phone calls with a payphone inside that required coins to operate. The iconic red British telephone boxes and classic American booths evoke a sense of nostalgia for a time when communication was more deliberate and less instant. Today, mobile phones have rendered telephone booths nearly obsolete, but they remain a symbol of a bygone era. Slide carousels were a staple for viewing photographic slides. These circular trays held dozens of slides, which could be advanced automatically or manually in a projector. Slide carousels made it easy to organize and display a large number of images, perfect for family slideshows and presentations. While digital slideshows have replaced physical slides, the memory of gathering around a carousel projector remains vivid. Stereograms were visual puzzles that created the illusion of three-dimensional images. These images appeared to be abstract patterns, but when viewed with a specific technique, a 3D scene would emerge. Stereograms fascinated and challenged viewers, offering a fun and engaging activity. Although they have largely disappeared from mainstream culture, stereograms are still enjoyed by enthusiasts who appreciate their optical magic.